Um,
Yeah,
I
that's fine.
I thought we'd start off with you telling me how the team started in competitive, um, like you know who's in the team, what's going on. Just give me a bit of background.
So the first thing is we don't have like a team. It's actually a lot more less formal than that. I have like these sign up threads, and I look for people of a certain league, basically of skill level to a degree on Blizzard ladder, who are interested, and then post that they are interested and might be able to make it or definitely can make it, and that becomes like the roster for the event. Other clans do have like teams of like I don't know 5 to 10 to 20 to 100 players for clan wars like these, but we haven't gotten to that quite to that point just because it's not really practical for us to do so. But in terms of history, the first clan war was back in May of 2012, as far as I can tell. Mental One, our veteran captain, set it up, and under the previous major Redux, and we played against Hell's Gamers, which are actually a bunch of Mexicans. And it was kind of funny because I was recently made a captain, or was, oh, wait, no, it was before I was a captain even within the section, and I was helping to translate what they were saying in order to make sure that everything was above the belt and stuff. We ended up winning that, and then set up some more that June into the summer, and then the fall and the spring, and officially after our loss yesterday, last night, 2 nights ago now, last night. Today's still Sunday. We're 12-12 in our clan wars since May of 2012. So in the 12-ish, 14-ish months, we've done 24, at least 24 clan wars. There've been like at least like 3 to 5 that were scheduled as well, that either we couldn't show up to, like the people who signed up didn't show up, or the other team, the other clan, couldn't actually attend in the end. And yeah, that's a overview of our clan war situation, I guess.
Well, that sounds pretty cool actually, because you're opening it up to quite a lot of people, and yeah,
Yep.
that sounds quite
And
interesting.
we like clans generally the basic distinction, if they're not like a masters, there's masters league players. They're the supposed to be the top 2% on each server region, and those guys, I mean, they're like basically pre-professional, like the ones there who think that they can dedicate the time and have like a recognizable amount of skill that they can see themselves improving into or becoming, make the jump to try and be actual professional, or just join tournaments for money and then just trying to go from there. We Warrior Nation has a few masters ourselves. They're not anywhere close to that per se, but they're obviously very very skilled players. So many of our clan wars, and why we've racked up 12 losses for example, is because we schedule them against either masters only clans who don't really have people below like diamond level, which is the one league below masters, or what's called A teams of clans, which are their diamond and masters players, and then the B team is usually anyone from like silver to gold, and they sort of leave off the bronzes just because bronze is the lowest possible level, and I mean you can be competitive there, but it's not really that interesting or fun necessarily. So the tension is how many A team events do we schedule versus how many B team ones. And right now I'm sort of skewing towards the B team ones just because this 2013 has been a very A team heavy year so far until this summer basically. But I'm not opposed to our masters guys. It's just that many of our masters guys are busy this summer and aren't even like around for them anyway. So whatever.
That I'm glad to hear that, because it's always nice that you try and include everyone of all skill levels, because
Oh
often
yes.
it's often the people who are the best get a lot of the attention, and it's nice to hear that you've got like a B team, or a set of players who aren't at that level who actually get some playtime.
Exactly. And they even like pipe up on the forums like, when's the next Silver Clan war? I'd like to go to that one. And I'm like, well, I don't have one yet, but then I did, and now I can message him that there'll be one, in a couple weeks. That'll be include silvers as well and stuff. So, yep,
That's
they're
great.
they're, they're more yeah, they're just more active and eager ones right now. So I'm trying to cater towards them, but I can easily fit in, masters ones where they fit where I can as well. The issue just becomes I need my actual masters to show up to them if I'm going to commit to another clan to have the clan war. And normally, I mean, if they like once fall comes, maybe everyone can like have a better schedule and maybe recruit another Masters or two anyway. But but yeah, it's nice so far.
That's good. I was going to ask you sort of the general form of the team, but you said you've won 12, lost 12. That's quite a decent record over the space of just over 12 months, I guess. Um, and you say there's different skill levels. Whereabouts would you find yourself? And um,
Oh, I'm sorry.
no, no, go. So, where would you find yourself? And maybe the majority of the players, would they be close to the masters, or would you be sort of silver level?
The majority of the players I would say are around gold and platinum right now, so a little bit above silver. We've actually have been recruiting. I've been recruiting a couple more silver, so their numbers are growing slightly. But we have a bunch of golds and platinums for sure. A couple diamonds. I don't know what we used to have more diamonds, but that league itself has been in flux because it's like caught between being good platinums or poor masters basically. And I don't know, for Warrior Nation, I have like, oh, I guess actually four solid people there now. No Quarter, Vanu, Alexian, Mental One is there too. So yeah, I guess I actually have a decent amount of diamonds, and then the 4 to 5 Masters players that are still in Masters, although a couple of them are basically inactive entirely or on different Smurf accounts that I don't know about. I myself am Platinum. So is Redux, the previous major. So we're sort of middle of the road, like uh, I don't know. I'm Platinum. Like Gold is supposed to be the biggest league, so in theory, like if there's a bell curve, that's Gold is near the height of that bell curve, with Platinum and Silver on like either side. Uh, and so like I'm of average skill basically, but slightly above average, I guess, but just very slightly. I mean, I can still lose to gold players easily, and then diamonds and masters are pretty far along on the upper the right hand slope of the bell curve because they're already they have better game sense, mechanics, especially the APM is a lot higher for them, and better strategy as well. Yeah, so we fought against had a clan battle against Fever Clan, Team Viral. So this is one of the Fever Clan actually has like a few hundred Starcraft 2 members, and so they break themselves down into competitive teams like this one called Team Viral. It was a silver to platinum. No, not a silver. It was a platinum and diamond only clan war. So both Warrior Nation and Viral Fever brought 3 platinums and 2 diamonds to the fight basically. Um, we went down 0-2 quickly because my first platinum was enjoying the ambrosia of the gods too much too early that evening too, and then the next player, his not cheesy strategy but exploitative strategy sort of was immediately scouted basically by the opponent and put him at a big deficit. But then our last platinum player, phased, went on a winning streak. He won 3 games in a row to give us the lead, actually 3-2, taking out 2 Zergs, both with a mech only composition and with a bio medevac composition. And then in the first game he beat that Terran that had gone on a 2 game winning streak for Fever with just better marine tank control because both players went for like the same strategy basically, and FaZe just outplayed him. And so FaZe went up against a diamond toss, eventually lost, so that tied it up again at 3-3. Our Zerg player Marbles beat that diamond toss in an epic base race. That's actually like a highlight of the night, was that base race when their armies intentionally avoided each other in the middle of the map to go try and kill the opponent's base, which is a strategy in the game. It's very risky, obviously, because in theory armies are supposed to collide head on, but Marbles' army was much smaller, so he knew he couldn't take a head on fight anyway, while the Protoss army tried desperately to kill everything, but Zergs are kind of hard to, it's almost like playing whack-a-mole with them sometimes, and before he could finish hitting all the moles, Marbles just swooped in and killed the last pylon, forcing the defeat without even a GG. But then Marbles lost to their last player, their ace player, basically their Diamond Zerg, um, Flare Fly with the FLs. I guess he's from Florida because he likes FL in capital letters. And it was an okay ZVZ. Like Marbles tried his best and had a decent strat, but couldn't break the contain that Flarefly put on him. So we sent out our ace player, a mental one, that same veteran captain who's been captain now since October of 2011, I believe. He's almost coming up on 2 years being captain in this section. And he's a Protoss player, ex-Masters as well. He's currently Diamond and trying to like not worry about returning to Masters. Went for a two-base timing attack basically against the Zerg player. But the Zerg went for this really odd and, I mean, beyond cheesy, it's just like suicidal play of fast six gases off three bases, cutting drones very early on, like half his drones on minerals and half his drones on gas, which is unheard of in terms of being a legit apportionment of worker units in this game, in StarCraft 2 overall, for a fast Mutalisk army. And Mental One saw the Mutas coming and tried to prepare a bit, and didn't realize that all he would make from there on out in the next 2 to 5 minutes would be Mutalisks as well. And his little army didn't have many anti-air components anyway. Mutalisks can fly, and he just ransacked Mental One's base, and then Mental One typed out, "That's a lot of mutas," like 5 seconds before conceding the GG and surrendering, and so giving Fever Clan the 5-4 clan war victory.
To be fair, that sounds extremely close, though. It sounds like that last match could have gone either way. So,
Yep.
Could well be a different reaction right now. You could be saying, Mental One could have won that game.
And the sad part, not sad, he really cares about the game, which is why like he has to try and limit himself from becoming Masters again, and he cares about clan wars. So I knew right after it he would want to log off the game quickly, and he promptly did so. But I mean, I think the Zerg went for that risky suicidal strat partly because he didn't want to play a straight up game against a diamond level Protoss, and would either win with this risky suicidal strat or just lose with it. And lucky for Fever, he managed to win. War Nation, we'll come back next time, and maybe luck will be on our side more. Well, generally, I guess the ones with most success, like Phased, is a pretty technically proficient macro player for a Platinum League. Macro meaning like the macroeconomic side of the game, or macro army style of focusing on having a lot of worker units, giving him lots of money that he can then turn around and efficiently, continuously, and effectively make army units with, in order to always have a big army that either on hand or in production that he can replace once he loses an army, to just promptly return to attacking with a new army. And that's a strength. Both him and Mental One prefers that generally, I believe, even though he went for this two base play in that one game. Marbles as well, like in his game with the base race, he actually lost his two expansions and was down to one base against a two basing Protoss, which is a terrible situation to be in. But Marbles was able to have his own Mutalisks out in time to kill the army, triple expanded to make up for the economic deficit, and then got enough Mutalisks and Zerglings, which are the cheapest Zerg army unit out, to be able to initiate the base race and then eventually emerge victorious, even though like he ought to have lost that game basically. I mean, the Protoss had it won when he had him down to just one base. So that's a strength. We do have good like cheesy strategies as well to some degree, but yeah, I guess if anything, our strength is actually our macro play. Like Sam's Choice, my captain, and Karma for that matter, my other captain. They're both Masters level players, and they both love being greedy as all heck in terms of trying to get as many bases up as they can, to pump out as many armies as they can, and just beat you down that way. In terms of racial selection, we're pretty evenly spread across Zerg, Terrans, and Protoss. I don't think there's like a dominant one. I think Terran is underrepresented overall in the clan. Like we skew towards Zerg and Protoss for sure, and this is because also like Terran, the human race basically, it's fun to play, but it can be kind of technically difficult to some degree because you have to manage so much directly, and I don't know, it's not very intuitive necessarily. I mean, this is from me speaking that it's my worst off race because I'm a Zerg main race person myself. And yeah, and like I said, we definitely have our numbers highest, I believe, in gold and platinum right now. So that's another way to describe our section. Ideally, it's a weekly thing. Some months or sometimes it'll be once every 2 weeks. This week it'll actually be kind of odd because we have one scheduled for Thursday night and Saturday night as well on different league levels. Like the Thursday night one, I believe, is a B team event basically, and the Saturday night one, I want to say, is going to be an A team event or something. Uh, but normally we don't really have two in one week just because if it's the same players attending them, it's a lot to just devote to clan wars for Warrior Nation in a week. Plus, it squeezes out like any game nights or practice sessions we might try to schedule as well, which are still useful and fun. Just because some players don't like the clan war format in general, they don't really care for 1v1s, and they just prefer like team games or arcade games, which Starcraft 2 has a whole subset within itself of customizable maps and what's called the arcade. But yeah, generally, my goal going forward certainly is basically at least one event a week, either a clan war or game night, and 2 to 3 clan wars at least per month. Yeah.
Okay, great. So I'm hoping as time goes on and I get to know maybe the game a bit better, the players a bit better, I can maybe to report to everyone in a bit more detail and speak to a few of the other players about their games and how they've been doing. But thanks you very much for talking. Um, Thanks for explaining it a little bit more to me as well. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yep. Thanks for the interview. And for sure, yeah, I'll make my guys available. My officers are all have mumble, so they'd be more than happy to talk about it. And like I said, they're all better skilled players than me. Like they're in higher leagues. Mental's an ex-masters, and Sam Stroyce and Karma are both masters currently. Karma's actually a GM, which is like the top 200 on the Southeast Asian server, on his Southeast Asian server because he lives in Australia. And yeah, thanks again for the interview.
Okay, great. Speak soon.